Hi guys, and welcome to another session of Honest Talk About Women, where you learn tips, tricks and strategies on how to navigate the minefields of dating and relationships. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also comment in the comment section. It all helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you've got a story you want to share with viewers, you can contact me on my email address listed below. Okay, let's get right into it. This one's a big one, guys. The kids have arrived, and this is a real marriage tester. Okay, so you've decided to play the field. You found a woman you want to date, you're starting to date her, you're in a serious relationship, you've decided to get married, you're married, now you decided to have kids, and the first kid's about to arrive. And this is a huge marriage tester. Now, for those that don't have kids, they've got no idea what's about to happen, the incredible strain that's about to go into the relationship. And this is where you've got to be both super organized, but you've either got it or you haven't. And if you don't have it, it'll fall over. Your relationship will fall over. Your marriage will break up. And you get this, personally, I think you get this at a very early stage of being able to take hardship and get through tight squeezes and high workloads. And you've either got the ability to handle pressure, handle stress, and be a fully functional father and husband, or if it's or the other side, or you don't have it at all. And this is the big unknown when you marry someone, whether they can handle this. And you can do certain tests through leading up to marriage, what they're like under pressure. But once you're married, you've talked about kids, you decide to have kids, and the first one's about to arrive. This is where the shit hits the fan, okay? And I've seen it time and time again where people get so tired, so worn out that their marriage comes unstuck and they go their own ways. So let's see what's about to change. Firstly, your household's about to get very, very hectic, okay? Living by yourself, not a problem. Living with someone else, you've got to compromise, you've got to work in with them, she's got to work in with you. But then when a kid arrives, it's a completely different story, okay? Because you've got to stick to a routine with kids. Kids love routine and they love boundaries. So there's got to be set feeding times, okay? So you've got to stick to the plan. And I could do another video about this on rearing kids. And I have experience on this because I've been a father, and I've also seen it many times out where people don't follow a routine for their kids, and the kids are all over the place with sleep patterns. So ideally, when a baby is born, you want them to sleep through the night as quickly as possible, and it doesn't always work out. Sometimes it can happen in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, other times it takes years. But the best way to get them into a sleep routine is to follow a routine. So they've got to be fed 5 o'clock every night regardless. Usually they're up at 6 early morning, and you got to breakfast, lunch, dinner, and boy, do they cry. Babies cry a lot, and you're forever, ever going into their room, and usually it's one of 3 or 4 issues why they're crying. They've either got a wet nappy, they're thirsty, they need some milk. 2, they're sleep deprived, they need sleep. Or 4, their nappy's too tight, or they're cold in their bed or too hot in their bed. So you've got to make sure the room temperature is around about 21 degrees Celsius. So it's really important that you change your focus from yourself to a baby, because if you do the hard yards early, it becomes easier as the years go on, and they're into a routine, and then they have a stable upbringing, a stable foundation to spring up from. And there's a good chance you won't have to do further therapy bills on kids that didn't get the foundations right at the very beginning. So you can get support crews to help you. You can get a nanny. You can get an au pair. A lot of German au pairs come to New Zealand. They're highly efficient. Gardeners to do the gardening, a fish tank cleaner. I had all this, and it becomes an absolute nightmare organising all these people. So this is where you need to work out your finances, whether one person can stay at home and be a full-time mother or full-time father. And you don't need all these support types. But most women today, I'd say, are career orientated, and they don't want to stay at home. Some do, and be a mother, and that's absolutely fine. In fact, that's the best way to do things. But financially, we all live in big cities that are very, very expensive. Cost of living is going through the roof, and you need to both work. And sometimes you're just working, both of you, just to pay the bills. So this happened in my situation. We had a New Zealand nanny. When she wasn't available, we got German au pairs. We had a gardener. We had a fish tank cleaner. We had a guy mowing the lawns and feeding the grass. We had didn't have a pool cleaner, but that's quite common for some people. A window cleaner. And as like anything, when you employ staff or contractors, you have some good ones and you have some unreliable ones. Some people, they don't turn up, and other people's, they do turn up on time. With the nanny or pair, that's the most important one because they're dealing directly with your kid. And some of these kids, they're only 18 to 22, and they need training themselves. They haven't had basic training from their parents. So it can get into a bit of a nightmare situation where poorly trained nannies or pairs who don't have the basics can leave things going haywire. And I've got a couple of stories I'll probably share on another video where things can get out of kilter quite quickly. So this all leads to the stress in a household, employing a lot of support staff, working long hours at your corporate job, baby crying at night, second one's due. It can lead to sleep deprivation. One thing you don't have with an au pair is someone to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to feed the baby, and when the baby arrives. And that was my job. My first wife at the time was a corporate woman, and she said, "I need sleep, Scott. I need to go to work." And I also had a couple of businesses I was running at the same time, but I got up at 2 o'clock, got the express milk out of the freezer, put it in the microwave, made sure the temperature was perfect, and then bottle fed my daughters. But I don't suffer sleep deprivation. I can make it up some other way. If your sleep shift gets interrupted, then you're going to have to find that hours elsewhere to make it up to the 8 hours. So I have no problems falling off asleep to make it up later. So I've seen it time and time again where sleep deprivation occurs in one of the parents, and sleeping pills come in because people think, oh wow, sleeping pills, that's a great way to fall asleep at night, but it creates all sorts of issues. And have a little bit of alcohol with that, like a gin and tonic or a bit of wine or a bit of some vodka at night with a sleeping pill. It's a recipe for disaster. Things can go pear-shaped in the relationship and the family unit very, very quickly. Throw anxiety in on top of that, and it's going to fall over. Also, alcohol. I see a lot of parents still drinking alcohol as though they're young and in party mode. When it comes to a child who wants to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and starts coming into your room, jumping on your bed, it causes all sorts of issues, especially if you're hungover or you're not in the right mind frame to deal with it. So it can cause a lot of challenges, guys. And also, women their body tends to change once they have a baby, and they may not be as confident as they were before. Some may suffer postnatal depression, quite common. I saw it happen a lot of times with the woman that I knew when we all got married in our early 30s. And then later on in life, a woman also can go through menopause, and that can change her completely again. And that can be a marriage breaker, absolutely. So that's a separate video for another time. Big area, menopause. So it's really important. My advice to you is to keep to a routine. And don't forget to have a regular date night. You've got to have time out. You can't be 24/7 full on being a father, being a home administrator, being a successful businessman. It just can all come crumbling down on you. So you've got to stay healthy. You've got to stay mentally healthy, physically healthy, and you've got to watch your diet. And because it's so easy to lapse into the comfort zone and have the wrong foods and make the wrong choices when it comes to food and the wrong choices when it comes to drinks, and it can be a disaster. You can just slowly watch your body get bigger and bigger. So this is a very short video, guys. There's books and books on this topic. I'm just giving you a very general overview for those that are time poor. And I'm just saying that this is big. This is where the trouble usually happens, because you've got to put yourself second and put the child first. And not everyone can do that. And some people who are still stuck in party mode, don't understand that they need to change, because if they're not around for the child in the first 7 years, then the child won't know its parents, the mother or the father. So this is a time where you've got to put yourself second and put as much effort in as you can, because if you get the first several years right, it becomes a lot easier down the track. I know things aren't perfect throughout, but that's my best advice I can give you. This is where the shit hits the fan, guys. And I don't think you can do a quick training session in a couple of weeks before the child is born to prepare for this, because this is big. And you've either got these skills or you don't. And this is something that is part of your character, part of your personality, part of your DNA, whether you can take things on the chin and suffer mild pain to get through this tight, small window. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, click on Alpha Dating, and purchase my book on Amazon Kindle. It's a fantastic buy, and it's very reasonably priced, and you'll get so many benefits out of it. So until next time, take care.